Hey guys, there's this really great story about this guy who was a computer programmer, data processing, whatever you want to call it. And it was back in the early 70s when that field was just getting off the ground. There wasn't that many people in the field, so he took as many jobs as he could, like 3 or 4 subcontracting jobs at a time, worked day and night, tedious work, long hours. And the reason he did this was he was a huge Hank Aaron fan. Atlanta Braves. In 1974, Hank Aaron was speculated to break Babe Ruth's home run record. So what he did was he worked for a year prior to that, nonstop. Saved up enough money that he could buy season tickets to every single game for the Atlanta Braves, and follow them around the country playing baseball, watching them, and get hotels and food and all that stuff, enough to finance him for that season. And when it was over, he spent all his money and he would start again. So it's interesting because most people would hear that and they say, wow, he made all that money and he put in all that time and effort just to see that. Well, in reference to priorities and dreams and goals, and maybe that was his. Maybe that was as simple as watching this guy break a home run record. And he has every right to have his own goals, whether people think it's crazy or not. And he did it. And how many of us could say we actually did exactly what we wanted? We worked hard for it and got it, whether people agreed with it or not. You know, I mean, I don't know many people who do that. Some people, and some on some level maybe, but not most of us. And why is that? Well, one, we're worried about the future, and worry about the future is kind of ridiculous. We have control over what we do, and we can certainly make moves to get to a better place in the future, even after we achieve something. I equate it to climbing a mountain. I mean, you might start at the bottom of the mountain and get to the highest apex of the mountain, but that doesn't mean there's not going to be another mountain you need to climb that's even higher. So as hard as you work, you may work harder, or things might just work out in your favor, or you might choose another mountain. Whatever the case is, don't be swayed by stress or worry of what might happen. Again, that's self-composed. That's not real. That might not ever happen. So if it might not ever happen, why worry about it until it does? Then address it. And the other thing is that if we continue to put off things that we want to do, it really becomes a shallow life. It becomes dictated by the stress and also what other people will accept. A lot of people don't do things because they think, people disagree with them and make them feel bad or look bad or talk about them or whatever. Who cares? If you're doing what you want and that's truly what you want, go get it. So what am I saying? I mean, I think that a lot of times too, when we do things, especially worried about people will disagree with what we do or have a bad opinion of what we do, it's kind of conformity, isn't it? We're conforming to what other people think we should do. And there's a Longfellow poem, and in the poem he says, "Be not like driven cattle, make a stand." And what he's saying is, what do cattle do in a herd? They follow the ass in front of them. It's conformity. They don't think. They just do what the other one does. They copy what the majority does. And making a stand would be, I'm not going to follow anybody anymore. I'm going to do exactly what I want, regardless of what anyone thinks or whatever happens in the future. I'll figure it out. I'll make it work. So I guess what I'm saying is, in the future, if you have an idea of something you truly want to do, it's in your heart, it's something you really want to do, don't worry about what anyone says. Don't worry about what might happen. Again, that's just a chance and it's self-composed anyway. It might not ever happen. And if it happens, you'll take care of it. Just go ahead and go get them. As long as you're not hurting anybody else, do it. So till next time, guys, don't follow the ass in front of you. Make a stand. God bless.